and I'm like, why is Lucas Till not playing the Flash? Because he's a better actor.
Oh, that would be really
And
really
we're
good.
live. No warning. I love that.
Hey, oh,
That's
wow.
my favorite live.
Huh.
How's everybody doing this fine evening? Okay.
Doing
Yes.
great.
A lot of excitement out there. Locked down in fantasy and fandom. It's always fun. Welcome to the Fourth Wave. This is the first edition. Wow, we really got to think of a name for the first show. So we got the late edition.
The lead-in? Call it the lead-in?
Lead-in Fourth Wave. The Fourth Wave lead. Think about that script.
Well, if you want to keep surf, or the surf, because you have waves and surf.
Something with a wave, right? But it's like the
surf of the fourth wave, because the surf is when water spritzes in your face when you're on the boat from a wave. So
I do spritz when I talk, so that might work. But yeah, we have our first show, and don't forget about our second show, led by the great Bear Nerd Fun. And also he will have on FinalDeathStar. Immortal Coil will be jumping around between different shows at first, but for right now, they'll be doing the second show. We'll be doing the first show. That's what our great leader decided, and I just followed the wave.
So it's like George Lopez and Conan back in the day when they
Yes. So let me introduce you, beautiful people. We'll start with the ladies. We have, for the first time ever on the Fourth Wave, Nerd Cookies. How are you, Elena?
Hey, good to be here.
And tell everybody a little bit about your channel.
I mostly cover sci-fi, fantasy, news, and lore. Right now, I'm pumping out a lot of Dune videos right now.
They are awesome.
Thank you. I just put one out today, actually, about Duke Leto Atreides, and been doing a lot of the character breakdowns. And whenever news comes out, try to stay on top of that. So,
now,
yeah.
Let me ask you a question about that. Are you from what you've learned now that you've been researching it a lot, what are you looking forward to this movie or not?
I definitely am. The casting is great. There's a couple of things I'm worried about, but not so much so to diminish my excitement. I just hope it's not misplaced. But, I think Denis loves the source material. I think that's the most important thing. And the casting's great. And just it's such a great story to work with in the first place. So,
and that's the director, correct?
Yes.
So a director that actually
Blade Runner fame, yeah.
Right. And he actually respects and likes the source material.
Yeah, he read it when he was a kid, and he just fell in love with the story, and it was his dream to make it. It's his dream project. So yeah, that gives me hope.
Wow. Yeah.
If they care about it, and he's read it and has that passion. So,
that's amazing. It's nice to finally have a director that likes the IP he's working on.
That wants to stay true to what it is. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for being here. And we have the Queen, Lorena Creel. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Very good, Scott. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you for asking. And tell everybody a little about yourself. Now, you have a channel, correct?
I have a channel, but it is not active. Actually, a little backstory. So I'm Lorena Creel. I'm primarily on Twitter. And ever since I started interacting with a lot of YouTube creators, I kind of have a ghost channel up right now. But most of my activities on Twitter, I talk about pop culture, Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever,
You're also on, it's like the Queen's Council, right?
Yes, it is the Queen's Council. We have our live stream every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central. It's kind of like a mirror stream to the Dark Council's show, which is on Tuesdays.
That's nice. And there is also going to be a new show on Tuesdays I know of. And I think that's with me, you, Stephen, and Jane Theory. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. And I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be a nice show. We're trying to still think of the name. You got two white male patriarchy son of a guns and two beautiful, would we say black women? I don't know what to say.
Say black because people of color. No,
my dad would have kicked my ass as a kid if I said that.
That is such cop out, and basically everyone's a person of color. So
yes, we
that's
are
ridiculous.
Yes,
Except for me.
Yeah, you are the whitest of white. And let's move up to the white man. Script Doctor, how are you, my friend?
I am well, aside from the fact that I look like a human banana right now.
Yes, you do. A scary human banana. And a little bit, that goatee I think you have on is a little arousing.
That's a filter.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh my God, I thought it was a goatee. I thought you were going for the Comix Division look, but okay. All right.
I could grow one like that. It would have a little salt and pepper to it.
Just so everybody knows, we might lose Nerd Cookie and have her back. She is having issues with her power, not even internet, with the power at where she's living. So if she pops out and pops in, if Steven does that, we don't care as much, but Nerd Cookie, we do. So what have you been working on, Script?
Well, I've been trying to take advantage of some of the extra time I have with the girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So we spend most of the day together. She's now gone back to her apartment for a respite and getting some more supplies because she's got some girlfriends staying with her that while they're transitioning to the downtown area, and they keep running out of food a lot faster than they expect. So I don't know what's going on over there.
No, I can imagine, man. I can imagine.
I think they're panic eating, and my girlfriend's getting upset about it.
Yeah. Nerd Cookie, you're back. I explained to everybody what might be happening with you, so don't worry about it. We're gonna say
I
hello
tried to switch my internet. Hopefully
it'll work. All right, we're gonna say hello to the chat. So we have a script doctor. That's pretty much all of us. And then we have Palanuki, or what I like to call him, Palabob, our friend from France. I hope everything's all good over there, my friend. And we have FinalDeathStar, one of the guys on the fourth wave who will be on the late edition, hopefully tonight. And then we have, is that Nancy Elaine Reed?
Nancy Ellen Reed.
Ellen Reed, sorry, I am slow. Thank you. I haven't seen you on here before, so thank you for coming over to the channel. Please, if you're not subscribed to everybody on the panel, please do. We all are in that world of the fandom, and the support will definitely help us. And my good friend here, Twisted Mind Collision, good to see you're doing well, my friend. And Tetsunami, awesome to have you here. I know Stephen would be very stoked if he actually comes back to the panel. Usually I don't run the Saturday show. That is Stephen's show, but we are actually off-site, both of us. So I have the computer. Hopefully it'll stay up the whole time because hotel Wi-Fi sucks. But I wanted to start it off with something that we weren't planning on talking about, a little bit of Becad. Yes, I'm probably everyone's sick of it, but
yes,
I'm ready to talk a little Picard. Now, is everybody caught up?
Yes, unfortunately.
Technically?
Yeah, technically. Are you caught up? To what episode are we on? 9, right?
Yeah.
9 just aired.
Yeah.
The last one is in a few days.
Oh, God. Can I? Yeah. All right. So as the non-Trekkie guy, okay, I am a casual fan. I just started TNG recently. I'm only still on season 1. Let me say that Picard season 1 TNG is a badass. He is hardcore. He doesn't take shit from nobody, and he defends what he believes in. Picard is not the same man. I think we're going to find out at the end he was cloned. Because that can't be Picard. It just can't be.
No, he's like Mr. Magoo now. It's ridiculous.
Oh, Leslie Nielsen as Mr. Magoo is more entertaining than this.
Oh wow, that's a flashback there, man.
That is so true.
That is a flashback. Well, Script, what do you think about? Well, let me say what I think about it first, because I know you go deep and then you make me hate it even more. So let me just say what I like.
Sorry, I don't want people to hate it more than.
No. It's just you point out valid things that I don't sometimes notice. I mean, you're a writer, so you see these things. What I did like, I am starting to like the character, maybe not the character, but the girl who plays Sutra and Daj and whoever the hell else she is. I actually like her. I liked her as Sutra. I didn't like the character, but God, as a man, I'm not going to lie, she looked fantastic. It got me a little feeling weird that I had a
A lot of that is fake, good sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
I've not met her in person, but I do know a couple of people that have, and she is not that voluptuous or curvy.
Well, I know they do that with TV magic, but I'm saying the actual like eyes and not the context, just the way she changes who she is between the two. I thought that was actually like, I believe she wasn't the same character. Sometimes when you get characters that play multiple people in the same show, I don't believe it. Like I was able to not see her as Daj. Which one's still alive?
Soji, yeah.
Soji.
Oh no, there's the makeup helps the distinction, and also if you just listen to the characters with your eyes closed, you can tell which one is which. Their focus and goals are quite clear. Yes.
Right. Now, having the guy, playing Data back as the son, even though there was no children and Data was supposed to be the guy. So you'll explain that better than I'm doing right now. That was stupid. Okay. That was stupid.
Yeah. I mean, there might be a reveal to it, but I won't spoil it 'cause we haven't gotten there yet. In first, how far along in the first season are you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm up to the
TNG.
Oh, TNG, I'm not there yet, but I have a feeling he is not he is not human. I have a feeling that he believes he's human, but he's not, because that would just help the lore. Because I thought the guy didn't have any kids.
Yes, there's been multiple episodes in The Next Generation where Soong does not have any biological children.
Okay, so I might be on the right track, you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
What is the last episode of TNG first season that you watched? What happened in that?
Oh, crap. Was that the last one? I can't remember if it's the one where they freed I'm not far in. They freed a weird jellyfish thing from the planet below to mate with the other jelly. Oh, no. The Traveler.
That's the pilot. Yeah.
The Traveler.
I'm so when they travel to the other galaxies. Okay.
Yes. I just finished the Traveler.
That Traveler's a creepy character.
Oh dude, he's like weirdo and he talks weird and he doesn't seem, I don't know. Anyways, all right. So, and the only other thing was space flowers, and it wasn't about the space flowers themselves that I hated, because as a defense mechanism, if you could get past the idea it's a freaking space flower, that's a great defense mechanism. But you've been there for how long and you only have like 15 of them? Come on, people.
Well, we assume that they're probably been there for about 14 years.
Yes,
because that's when the synth ban happened. This new guy, Alton or Atlin, I think it's Alton. Right. I guess he's been here longer, and Maddox knew about this thing for some reason. It's a confusing. I would say this: the strangeness of giant flowers coming from a planet as a defense mechanism is not something really foreign to Star Trek. There are weird things like that, and it can work. It's just they're not really doing anything with them,
and they're not telling us anything about them.
Well, it's not like usually in a traditional Star Trek show, what it would be is that the Enterprise encounters one of these orchids while they're orbiting the planet, and then it captures them, and then the rest of the episode is figuring out what this orchid is, how to free themselves of it, and then dealing with the people on the planet that sent it up to them and finding out what sort of miscommunication occurred. So you actually get more of a conflict, like if there's stakes at hand, like it's slowly draining away the power, and they're going to be maybe they'll lose orbit or and they'll crash on the planet, or maybe they'll just drift out into space. So you have all these other conflicts, but they really just plow through that so quickly at the start of this episode to get you onto the surface and wander for another 30 minutes.
So I'm sorry, I was muted there. So Lorena, what do you think about it? You are a Star Trek fan?
Yes.
Okay. So
I've been a Star Trek fan for quite a while, even ran a fan club for one of the Star Trek actors.
Wow. Okay. So let me hear your views on this last episode in the season of Picard as so far.
Well, this last episode, again, I was thrown off to find out that Dr. Soong had a biological child. It's basically, okay, one more thing that doesn't align with the TNG canon. So it was great to see Brent Spiner, but I would rather have seen him as a flashback of Data than as this guy.
Right.
I just had no tie or no affinity to this person.
Right. They were trying to force a memorberry on you, and
yes.
Right. Okay. I hear you.
Yes, and around this part in the series, it's really getting to be really offensive.
I agree. And are you getting like what I'm getting from it too is that wasted opportunity like Star Wars, where you have all these actors are still alive for the most part, and you can use them, and they could have brought along these new characters.
Right. Absolutely. It's just like, you could get the band back together and pretty much do the same thing. But I think just like with Star Wars, they're trying to cater to a totally different audience that doesn't have this affinity, who hasn't grown up with Star Trek or been exposed to the lore. So now they're catering to them as opposed to bringing back the old characters, but giving them new stories and new settings that makes you want to go back and find out their backstories and all of that. Right. So it's really heartbreaking to see that.
Yeah, it is. And that's I think one of the best ways I've heard it said. Now, how do you feel about Space Flowers?
I just thought that was just a crappy plot device. It's like, just phone it in. It's like literally some people were in a meeting that said, "Oh yeah, let's use Space Flowers. we'll do that." But the reason why is I remember years ago when I was living in Los Angeles and I was visiting a friend of mine on the Paramount lot. And two of the writers at the time from Deep Space Nine come in and say, "Hey, we've got this idea about Ezri Dax." And they're like, "Really?" "Yeah, we want them to go back with Ezri and we meet Ezri's parents." And I'm thinking, yeah, right, that's never going to fly.
Right.
2 weeks later, guess what they're shooting?
Oh my God.
Yes, that episode, I couldn't freaking believe it. I couldn't freaking believe it. So yeah, it's just Space Flowers. No.
Space Flowers now, and you just got to deal with it. Now, script doctor, does that sound like Hollywood to you?
In some areas, yeah. I mean, especially with regards to the DS9 situation with Ezri Dax, she's a new character that has to replace Jadzia, so nobody's really familiar with her. So they're looking for whatever type of avenue they can to sort of get people on board with this character so that they can bridge the Dax symbiote's character between these two actors. They did not handle it well. There was even no reason for them to write off Terry
no.
At all. Like, she could have just like gone on an away mission, or they could have brought in some new lore with regards to the Trill that like every so many years the symbiote has to they have to go back for something with regards to the city, sort of like a month time, just to like give her a break so she could do this movie, and then she could come back and pick up the story as it were. But unfortunately, they killed her off, which is stupid, and then she had to go work on Becker, which was not too bad of a show, but still, like it wasn't ideal for. It wasn't an ideal situation.
No.
That son of a bitch is talking, isn't he?
Yes,
he's a dick. God. He gave me his meats.
I gotta mute him.
Then he won't even listen
Elaine,
to me.
What did you think about? Shut up, Stephen. If people out there in the chat don't know, I do not have the best Wi-Fi right now in the hotel.
No, he doesn't listen to me.
Stephen takes advantage of that every chance he gets.
He doesn't care about my existence. My words, my opinions don't matter.
I can only respond. What did he say? What did he say?
He was referring to you like a mother that wasn't appreciated by her son.
A mother? I'm worth more than that.
You're worth less than that, Stephen. Less than that. I could barely hear you, but I could hear you, you son of a gun. I just want to scream out.
Somebody broke into my goddamn Twitter, too.
Really?
Sorry?
I'm not even kidding you. That's what just happened. I had to go secure my secondary email and my Twitter because someone logged me out, changed the password.
Oh, dude, get two-factor authentication.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I'm sorry, guys. That's why I was late.
Oh my
This has
God,
been happening
man.
for the last hour.
I really worked hard at
Wow.
doing that to you. I really worked hard. Palanuki says the old couple is cute. Thank you. He's the girl. So we're talking Picard. Elaine, what do you think about Picard?
So I have so many thoughts. I had
Please
such high
say 'em all.
hopes for this show.
You have so
I
many
was so
thoughts,
excited.
like
Actually,
THOT, or
You're baffled.
you
Nerd Cookie,
thoughts?
the queen of
Probably.
the thoughts. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I had
mean, you
such
can-
high hopes for this show. The marketing I was really impressed by, actually, and it was one of the reasons why I was excited. I thought that this would be something that honored the legacy characters. You know, I even did a video comparing it to the Star Wars sequel trilogy and its treatment of Luke. Like, I think this could be different. I was so wrong. I don't know. Well, I could not keep watching it. I'm sorry to say. It's really disappointing. It kind of lost me actually in the second episode. And I thought it started off really weird with the flashbacks to just an hour when they were investigating Daj's apartment, and they kept flashback to conversations they just had an hour earlier.
Right.
And I just hated that whole sequence. It was just felt so unnecessary.
Mhm.
And it was just so confusing, the whole story of the Romulan boogeyman kind of thing.
Right.
And why didn't they just use a human for her boyfriend? Why did they have to use the black kid with the coffee bean hair?
I don't
Oh, yeah.
know.
Just that's not an
I don't
alien.
know.
He has coffee bean hair. That's it.
You know what I
Or
hate?
maybe that smells really good.
You know what I hated?
Mhm.
I hated most about that was that they're saying 20th century like slang. They're like, dude,
Yeah.
and that's whack. And why are
Yeah,
you writing
yeah.
it like this?
Yeah, because I hear sheer fucking
So odd.
hubris every day, all the time. That's I'm at
You know,
work.
I
I'm
do
in the-
too. I'm sorry. When I heard that and just the attitude behind it spewed at Picard, I was just, I couldn't do it. I like lasted a little bit longer in the episode, but it just lost me. Like, I can't, this doesn't belong in Star Wars or Star Trek. And it's not Star Trek. It's so sad. I'm just so disappointed
I
in
know.
what happened. And when I kept reading headlines about, because I, keep up to date. And then when I heard about what happened to Icheb, I was just disgusted. Ugh.
Yeah.
I think
So,
that
yeah.
was about when I called to cancel my CBS access because I was so disgusted. And they're just like, oh, would you like a free month? I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll ride this traffic accident out and see how it is.
Yeah.
Too bad you
One more
couldn't have
week.
spun that for just a refund.
You know,
You're what, $5 back?
yeah, it was like $5.
Wasted that-
Hey, $5 is $5.
But I wanted to say, you know what? I saw this garbage fire till the end. Till the end, and say I saw
Yeah.
it for myself. So when I criticize the hell out of it, I know what I'm talking about.
You're a trooper for sure. You did what I could not.
I'll fall on that grenade for you guys.
Thank you.
Some of us that actually like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Trek fan, but I have to watch some of these crappy ass shows. Like I did not like HBO's remake. I'm not even gonna say it. Watchmen. Watchmen. I couldn't stand it. It's not even Watchmen. I don't even know what to call it. But I made it to the last review and I just couldn't even do it. I didn't even do the last review because I couldn't think about it. Like the show just was that bad because I knew from like episode 1 she's gonna get his powers. That's what's gonna happen. And exactly what happens is he left her his powers. Yep, spoiler everybody. It's ridiculous. So that's how I must think you guys feel about Picard.
And who eats an egg like that?
Right.
I just yeah, it's so, again, it's heartbreaking to see a character like Picard who was a badass in
Right.
TNG, and he always seemed to be like streets ahead of the competition, and in Picard I thought he was going to be, hey, the most interesting man in Starfleet, but he's older and more of like a mentor role, and he just picks up on things very quickly. Instead, you just basically have, women yelling at him all the time.
All the time.
It's like, what is it with all of these broads yelling at him every single episode? And then it's like he's, it's like he has Alzheimer's. And he was never that way.
I mean, there are a lot of men out there that could relate to Picard in this manner of women yelling at them when they were in a bad relationship. Like, that's all the time, 24/7. Their girlfriend's just yelling at them. But that's not really how we want to relate to our characters.
No. Absolutely.
That's not the hero of the household.
No.
And look, I mean, and Picard could have changed over time. Like, I'm willing to accept that. But the ways in which they have twisted this character is not the natural progression from the character that we knew in The Next Generation. And, I mean, even into the movies, which got a little goofy. But, I mean, there was hints of greatness in Picard in this show. There were hints of it. And I think that at some point they brought in some writers that understood Star Trek, or at least even liked it maybe, and tried to make a couple things that would appeal to the original audience. But the presentation has been terrible. The pacing's been terrible. The whole Data's brain sperm thing. If they had led off with like the new Son of Soon, and I don't mind them retconning that, okay, we can continue the Soon bloodline because it's been weaved in and out of everything all the way up to Enterprise. So I'm fine with that. But doing it in the way that they did, I'm sorry, I don't get the whole Data's brain sperm. We made these twins from a positron. All right, now there's a whole planet of them. All right, how many positrons did he have? Was Data just getting excited, leaking positrons everywhere, just throwing positrons in the face of every cyberneticist in the fucking galaxy? Where the fuck did all these guys come from? The story hasn't been coherent. That's another one of the problems that I've had.
And one of the things that pissed me off is it's like Lal never existed.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah, it's like she never existed. That episode is one of my favorite Next Gen episodes, and it's just like
that's because
she
you're
was
awesome.
never there. Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
But it was just like such a freaking insult. And it's like no reference to her, no reference to any of that, no reference to the power of that story. It's just like, there was a
reference. There was a reference, sweetheart. It was in the vault. It's when they took the picture that he made of Law and they changed it.
Hold on for a second. Bear, check your DM. Okay, I sent you a link. You don't have to keep writing stuff in the chat. Go on.
Okay. Lol. What was it? Yeah, they did have a picture of Lol, but they changed it to Dodge.
You got to be freaking kidding me.
Yeah, you got to go back and look at that episode. It was.
Oh. Mother.
Like I know of the main portrait. I don't remember the one where she's like on the ocean.
Well, no, they changed it. I mean, they CBS All Access 25%ed it, but that was about it.
I'm gonna have to go back to that episode.
That was weird. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this show. I know it aggravates me, but it actually forces me to want to be a better Star Trek fan because like I'm going back and like watching shows that I kind of watch.
Trekkie, you dick. You never listen.
Is he still there?
Yeah.
I could freaking hear him. So I like being a Trekkie. But it is forcing me to watch TNG, and I'm going to watch Deep Space Nine, and I probably should have started with the original, but I'm really enjoying it. Like, yes, it's a little campy, and yes, the special effects are definitely 80s, but it makes it better, I think, in a way. Because
I guess you're not watching the Blu-ray version.
No, but I'm just watching it on Netflix.
Okay, yeah. Well, actually, I've got the Blu-ray version, the special, like everything holds up. It's just they clean up the footage so much that it looks like it was made like a couple weeks ago. The only thing that really highlights its age is the synthetic music that they throw in during the first season, which they got rid of in the second.
Oh,
Listen,
really?
I'm gonna tell you something that's completely selfish. All right, Dodge or whatever her name is in the body paint. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can enjoy in that episode.
I'm not mad at you. I'm really not.
Yeah, she looks good. I actually like Issa Brownies. I actually like her. I'm just upset with the role that they've given her, much like some of the characters from Disney Star Wars. I'm not mad at them for being given a terrible script.
Right,
actors gotta eat.
I will say, for those of you who are watching Star Trek Picard or have dropped out and you're just like, oh my God, my brain is scrambled, go watch the Orville.
Yes.
Yes.
That, oh my
Agreed.
God. Oh, I cannot tell you. It's just like, oh, this is what sci-fi used to be, what I've been missing. And it's a
Right.
wonderful palate cleanser, just putting that out there.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yes.
It has heart. It's really good. And what scares me though is his switch to the new network. Will the Orville follow him? Does he own the rights to it? That's the only thing that scares me about him moving, but he might actually get Star Trek, so
He won't ever get Star Trek. CBS
I know,
won't
just
allow
stop
it.
script. I know you know things.
Also, I don't think he wants that responsibility at this point. He's got his own franchise. However, the rights are with, he's still got a created by credit associated with it, so they can't take that away from him.
Right.
So he's got his own thing. And what's wrong with having? We already have tons and tons of dystopic future TV shows and movies. What's wrong with having another hopeful future television show along that? Like I already went through all the Orville during the first 8 episodes of Picard. This past week, my girlfriend and I have been doing the Next Generation. We started at season 1. We're at episode 9 today. That's when we took a break and just called it for the night. So it's actually been quite a good palate cleanser to see some interesting sci-fi, see how the structural hiccups that the first season of Next Generation had were very insignificant compared to what's going on with Picard first season. So it kind of shows the competent level of writing under pressure between the generations of the 80s and the late teens, early 2020s.
Why does Script Doctor always have to sound so smart?
I know, man.
You make me feel dumb, Script.
Well, there he is. Welcome to the chat, everyone. Brother Bear.
Hey.
Hail, Brother Bear.
Hail.
Bear, you can't be in a video on mine because I don't have the Wi-Fi to support it at the moment.
For like 1 to 2 minutes, you can talk all the shit you want, and he can't hear you.
Would you guys like to have enough? Hail.
He's got like a Max Headroom thing going.
Was that?
Am I cutting? Is my internet cutting?
I didn't
No,
hear you,
it's
Scotty.
not you.
You're good.
You.
Yeah, just get one of your thoughts to handle it. Right at the beginning of the show,
okay,
you said you had a lot of. You said you had a lot
Sorry,
of
it took
thoughts.
me a second. Oh, man.
That might have been me. I don't know if you guys picked it up, but apparently the volume turned on in the main YouTube chat. I heard from Justin. I talked with him on the phone.
Good. Is he okay?
He's in Oklahoma.
Yep.
And he's on his way home. And I gave him a little advice on some of the interface to use, and he had his navigation had those already picked out, so he's on a good route. And I told him if there's any problems, I told him to give me a call.
I tell him he needs to stop and eat some strange mushrooms.
He's in good spirits.
Sample some of the local cuisine.
He says hello to everybody. Oh, I told Indianapolis I could just go stop and get yourself a pallet because there's a dozen different microbreweries there.
Yeah, tell him to get drunk in a pandemic. That's exactly what he should do. Tell him to sip every beer from every town from there to home.
I told him just on your way through, stop at a microbrew and grab yourself a growler for when you're home. You're gonna go to a place where there's microbrewery when you're going through. There's 2 things that sell really right now: beer and whiskey.
Well, talking about alcohol, Bear, how did you feel about Picard, the recent episode?
Oh my God! What is there not to pick apart? Is the question. Let's see.
Pick the one thing that bothered you the most. What bothered you the most,
say,
buddy?
man, the orchids, that bugged me. Orchids.
That seems to be a lot of people's top. Yeah,
Space flowers.
Space flowers. Yeah. We're like a hippie community.
Yeah, that it was the orchids It was the orchid planet and hit the surface. The planet didn't get annihilated. That's what that Borg cube was huge. It's like a meteor hitting the planet.
Right. I was wondering that too. How many of those orchids
And-
tried to
and
take
no
down? There was
power.
4 of them, right?
I think 4 of them did. Or wait, did an orchid take down Narek's ship and then Picard's ship, and so 3 took down the Borg cube, but they lost 5 during that?
I thought
thing?
3 or like 4 took it down, but yeah, you're right. They did say 5, I believe. My question is this: how the hell would
Well, this
a
happens.
couple of those things? Yep.
Yeah, I don't understand the physics of
I
that.
thought it was 2. That was what happened so fast. Kind of takes you out of the reality. It's like, okay, no inertial difference.
Yeah, I hear you.
All the power is off.
Steve-
And it's falling. And it's huge.
Hey, Steven, do me a favor. I am having a little issue with my side, so can you please be the guy who runs this one? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. So, anyway, speaking of this girl's thoughts, no, I'm kidding. Does anybody have any hope for the last episode of Picard? Anybody?
I can't wait for those end credits.
No. Yeah. I can't wait for this misery to be
Again,
over.
Yeah, really? just bludgeon it in the head, huh? Just
Yep.
get it over with. Drag it outside. God, I have no idea. You know what? What really got me was the space flowers. And the space flowers got me because you have a race of super intelligent, super strong beings, and their thought of defense was were space flowers, giant space flowers. Now, on the one hand, the whole hippie, it's kind of a hippie mystique from TOS. I'm thinking maybe somebody was trying to make a callback to that, you know, to the original series,
Yeah, I
early
would have to
TNG
agree.
kind of feel.
Yeah.
I get that feeling off of, but it just doesn't make sense. Like most things in CBS Outskirts and Trek, it just doesn't make sense.
No,
Oh, I
if
can tell you
if
the
they were
line of
like,
thought for that.
yeah, if they were like, say, some kind of primitive people, I could buy the space flower thing. But
Oh no, it's way
Yeah.
more worse than that. What
Explain
they're
it, Chris.
essentially saying is that a positronic brain and artificial intelligence and intelligence of such great superiority would behave just like the hippies did in the 60s movement of free love and, you know, unity and all that crap, like no conflict, aside from the fact that they sort of were the reason why STDs kind of went really explosive.
yeah.
So yeah, basically what they're saying is that the hippies were more brilliant than the squares that were running the country in those days. And so here's our proof. We have a society of artificial beings that have limitless intelligence, and their choice of weapon or defense is not something that's so blatantly violent, but basically we'll wrap you up in a flower and carry you to our surface and deprive you of power, and then we'll be able to take care of you from there. So yeah, it's so stupid. Just so utterly stupid.
Oh God, yeah.
Because that's the theme that they're going for with this. The fact that there's a space flower or space orchid, that's not really foreign to Star Trek. We had a giant space amoeba. We had like a cube probe that just plagued the Enterprise for half of an episode. We've had Apollo's glowing green hand that's held the ship in place. Like there's a lot of ridiculous stuff that's out there, which is fine. It's more so the use of what this of how they use the flower and how they kind of washed it away, and yeah, and then they set up a ticking clock but then ignore it. It just bothers me. And we lost Stephen. So Bear, how would you use a flower?
Back then. Okay, I'll try my best. And we got somebody back. Let's see. That is Script Doctor.
We did a scramble.
What happened there?
I don't know.
We're all having issues.
You're a nipple now.
I'm a nipple now? I can fix that.
No.
Is that better?
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah,
Oh,
much better.
My nipples are the nipples, so
An
That is
improvement
my
from
favorite
the
part.
biohazard suit.
Oh, hail Jane Theory. Hail Final. How is everybody? Okay. Hopefully this freaking dial-up internet I'm using, which is supposed to be like their high speed, doesn't kill me off this thing. So Nancy says, no way close to the original. If that's what they were trying to do, well, big fail. Super stupid. And I agree.
I agree, Nancy.
Yep.
I don't remember much
man,
from
I agree too.
the original, but yeah.
Yeah. They had something. Bringing back Picard, bringing back that iconic character. You could have done so many things with it. And I do blame Patrick Stewart a little bit because they threw him under the bus. The writers, the producers, like they had an interview, and I should find it one of these days, where they actually said they went to him with an idea and he said, hell no, I'm not doing that. And they rewrited to this, what we got. And it's just like, oh man, like what did he say no to? Was it a better script? Was it less, I don't know, social justice? I'm sorry to go that route, but
hard to tell, really. It might have just been the exact story of Christopher Pike in Star Trek Discovery, where he's like just the background character to a new super person. Right. But a bit more direct, where he's in Starfleet and he's just sitting in the captain's chair and doing nothing. But now they're like, no, you get to be on the vineyard, you get to drink wine, you get to wander around, you get to dress up like a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
That's
pirate. No offense.
Yeah, you get to finally speak French.
Oh God! And Rios looking like Huggy Bear.
Oh, he did look like Huggy Bear.
Okay, I'm glad. I thought it was just me.
Oh no, girl! No.
What's messed up is that in the episode before that, I did the review where I think that this guy is supposed to be wearing like a pink sunglasses, a fedora, and a scarf, and lo and behold, the next episode that actually ends up happening, and mine was just a joke because
you called it. Called it. Did he have a cane? Did he have the aquarium high platform shoes? Like that's what I needed. I needed like the dead fish in there. Yeah. Like that's how bad it was.
He was almost dressed like Austin Powers in Goldmember.
Yes.
Oh no, it was worse than that. It was like, I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah.
You dirty rotten. Don't you say that? Got shot in my big toe. Like it is one of those. We're going back to like black. How they pronounce that from the 70s? It's
blaxploitation.
Blaxploitation.
Yep.
I'm saying it right. Okay.
Oh, those are fun movies, man.
They are.
Right. But at least it was actually black actors. You got a Hispanic guy pretending he's hugging. I love that. That was such a great. Thank you for saying that, because I thought that. I'm like, I'm too white to say that. I am too white to bring that up. That was perfect.
I literally said that as soon as I saw it. I'm like, God, it's freaking Huggy Bear.
I thought it. I was just like, damn, what are they doing? And then I can't stand the doctor. I can't stand her. She is just, she murdered her lover, her boyfriend, someone she cared about. I thought that was a powerful moment for the moment, I guess.
Yep.
And then it's like by one episode later, she's a nervous wreck. And like by the end of that episode, she's like, well, I'm not going to kill anybody else.
Because it's just that easy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she's a cyberneticist and she's giving medical advice from biology. Those two don't coalesce.
Not at all. Not at all. And then still like, she has the power to shut down like the emergency medical hologram. Like when a person is dying, isn't there like some type of like, what is that law where it's like, do no harm to humans?
No harm and fail safe.
No, like the AI.
The three robotic laws.
AI. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think those technically exist in Star Trek.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, it hurt. I can't do it anymore. Like I'm going to watch this last episode because I got to see where this train wreck goes.
Yep.
Yeah. If it's going to crash, you want to see where the victims are.
Right. Like so this
like a car crash can't look away.
Right. And how can someone explain to me how a cybernetic mind can do a mind meld?
It has
Thank
Wi-Fi.
you.
It has Wi-Fi. That's basically
That's what I'm wondering.
Because telepathy is how the mind meld works, and the closest thing to telepathy for machines is Wi-Fi. That's basically where you communicate wirelessly through other machines. But the thing is, that doesn't work with organic brains. So
Right.
Yeah,
That,
I'm currently looking for a really good sound file of the old dial-up modem, so I can use that in my video review.
Oh my God,
That'd be awesome.
That'd be perfect. Bear, what did you think about that? You're a huge Trekkie. What did you think about her doing a Vulcan move? That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Android
You pause for
doing
dramatic.
something
I
that
can't. I'm sorry.
has to do with Vulcan biology. They somehow miraculously copy Vulcan biology of the mind. I mean, they put the brain patterns of Vulcan inside the android. That's not it. Otherwise, it's just pretty stupid writing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And this one is the one with
that-
the gold skin. I think we're calling her Emerald Queen or something like that. The one that did the mind.
Sutra.
Well, they got the data skin. She's supposed to be completely mechanical, and she's not biological like Koji. So how is that possible?
Well, I was kind of confused by that. Are they all have the biological / what type of brain is that again?
It's a positronic brain.
Positronic.
I think Soji and Dodge were the only ones with an artificial brain and an
Positronic.
organic casing. And
Right,
if you have
the
the
rest
gold
of them have
skin,
that.
you're more like the traditional Data with like fully artificial all over.
Okay. So, and they're supposed to be like the destroyer, but yet Sutra is the one who actually has human feelings, human ambition, because she's the one that it's not that just she's logically going to destroy, biological life forms. You see her smirk, like she actually is getting
gets pleasure out
pleasure
of it.
from this.
Mhm,
And
yeah.
that shouldn't happen, correct?
Well, in with Data, his emotions were just absent software.
Right.
With Lore, it was integrated part of the brain. With these new androids here, they appear to have the full range of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a flaw to logic with emotions. They don't always work well together. And the stupidity of this episode is that Sutra claims the Romulans didn't understand the message properly. And yet when she explains the message, which is basically saying that organic beings will create synthetic life, synthetic life will become superior, and organic beings will feel threatened by that, so they will try to destroy synthetic beings. And because of this, these higher synthetic beings, will come to your rescue and destroy them. And
Isn't that pretty much what it was?
That's exactly what Sutra explains it, and that's exactly what the Zhat Vash are worried about. And yet, it pretty much proves the Zhat Vash are right in their desire to protect organic life from synthetics. It's just the means that they go about doing it are not correct. They're actually trying to destroy and do harm to those that do the research and the product of their research. And as a result, Sutra is like, well, it's a message for the synthetics for us to have a savior, and to the organics as that's a warning. So they're both right. They're two parties that are both right with interpreting the message.
Correct.
And that's supposed to be the good science fiction conflict. And actually, that's a really good idea to have.
Right.
The question being is, how do you? It's up to Picard to reconcile the fact that we can coexist. Like that's going to have to be his goal for the next episode, is that to argue that there's room for coexistence. Some of the stuff that Sutra talked about in that episode brings up a very political issue with regards to women's reproductive rights. They really dropped the ball on trying to talk about that. How
do you mean? Say that. What do you mean by that?
Well, basically banning synthetics is like killing them before they even exist.
Oh, okay.
That's
I didn't.
what
You
they're
know
trying
what?
to get at.
Yeah. They're making a point there. I didn't think about that.
Yes, and yeah, I won't go into any of the details of that because I don't want YouTube to shut this down.
Right.
Because that's always a possibility.
Right.
But yeah, like they brought up that idea, and I think that might be something repeated in the next episode, but I'm pretty sure the structure of the next episode is going to be Picard is trapped in Maddox's room or something. He's trying to contact Starfleet. Sutra is building the antenna to contact the Reapers, as they were from Mass Effect, to come in and save them. The Romulan fleet arrives. The flowers go up there. Rios gets his ship ready. They join the battle, and Soji has a fight internally with herself to either support her species of the synthetics or betray them to save everyone. She'll then betray them. She'll defeat Sutra. She'll destroy the thing. Picard will be rescued. He'll die somehow, get transferred to the Golem, or he won't. I don't know. And there'll be a big space battle. We won't understand what's going on, but we'll be good by the end, unless they decide to cliffhanger it. Which, if they do, they might try to leverage that for a second season. But seeing as how things are currently on hold in Hollywood, I don't think it's going to be anything we'll see until 2022.
Wow. That's crazy.
They managed to get away with it. Yeah.
And before I ask a question, Nancy, I see your comment, and you should not feel old. Okay. Do not be embarrassed, girl. Praise it. All right. Lorena, how would you feel if they take Picard and put him in the Golem? First of all, they call it a golem. That's like, isn't that like from the Old Testament?
It's from the Old Testament. I think there's a Hebrew story about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, okay. It's like at this point, I'm just so disgusted with what they've done with the character. It's like I have no feeling one way or the other, and that's sad.
Yes.
It's like it's sad that I don't care what happens to the character at this point. It's just like it's like I don't have an emotional investment. So it's we'll just see which way it goes.
That happened with me in Star Trek. And it's sad. Like, and Gary pointed it out. We were in Bear was with us, I believe, in a live stream, and I said that, and he responded. He goes, you saying that, like, it hurts to hear a fan say that, but he feels the same way. And I see a lot of Star Trek fans. They got Discovery, and then this came, and I think a lot of Star Trek fans were hoping Picard was going to be the Mandalorian.
That was my hope too. I didn't watch Discovery because I'd heard crap about it. I said, okay, I'm just not going to jump into that. And I was hoping Picard would be so much different. And wow. Ugh.
Yeah. And Elaine, what did you think?
Yeah, me too. It's just I thought this was going to be different. And I was wondering too, I didn't get to the part with 7 of 9, but how was her character progression? She's
very human.
Very.
Yeah.
And she can hold her liquor now.
Yes. And she's angry.
Very.
Oh man.
Very
I was
angry.
curious about the female characters in particular. There just seems to be this trend of strong female characters just being so one-dimensional. Like it's all about their strength or all about their being in a position of power, but nothing really else about them.
That's a valid point. That is a valid point. Go on with it. I'm sorry to interrupt
myself.
That. Yeah.
Well, as a female myself, it's like, how can anyone, or any young girls relate to that?
Right. Do you feel like they take the male character and just insert a female? Like, instead of giving females any femininity, I could barely say that word, they actually just replace a male character with a female, and they make women more male, which is not actually a positive thing, because on the male characters, it looks ugly too. Like, they're just angry. They're backstabbing in this show. They're doing horrible things. They're drinking, they're drugging, where is the character that actually is a positive female character?
I don't know.
I can't
I'm
find
excited
one
for
in
Dune, actually, because I've been doing a lot of research, and Lady Jessica of Dune is that's what a strong female character should be. She has all these superhuman abilities, but she trained her entire life to get to that point, for one.
Right.
And and there's just so much more to her. You know, she struggles. She has to fight for everything, and she suffers loss, and it's just one struggle after another. She has to overcome these challenges, and it's just something that's just lacking. Like there's no, like Ray, you know, is what comes to mind mostly. So her biggest problem was that she was too perfect or too powerful, and it's just no one can relate to that.
Yeah.
No one likes that.
No one likes that. And I felt bad because I always say at the beginning of Ray's journey, I wanted to know more. And they ruined it real quick by making her she knew everything. She couldn't fly a spacecraft, never probably flew one in her life, but damn, she picked it up quick and knew how to fix it better than Han Solo knew how to, you know what I mean? Like
she's missing the one thing that lets us get to know her. And that is, what does she want out of life?
Right.
When we first meet Luke, he wants to go hang out with his friends.
Yes.
But he's told, no, you got to do your chores. Every kid relates to that.
Yes.
Being told no by their parent or guardian. We get nothing of that for Ray, so we don't empathize with her.
Right. And she's an isolated child, you know, like
she's an incel.
Yeah. And to be given all that power, why didn't they? I don't know, man. They should have gone the route of the dark side with her, because she was worse than Anakin. She had nobody.
Yeah.
I thought she was straight up going to be on the dark side. Just she had that penchant for being way too emotional in some situations, way too reactive. Mm-hmm. And she basically like raised her lightsaber at Luke. She beat up like an old man. I'm like, this is the hero? This is what little girls are supposed to look up to?
And on top of that, Luke should have been powerful enough in the Force to turn off that lightsaber with the Force, yank it out of her hand, and then smack her over the head with it like Snoke did.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Lorena, what do you have to say on that?
With respect to Ray?
Well, either just female characters lately in general.
I don't like that. I really do not. It's like being feminine somehow is not valued. Like somehow it's a liability. Exactly. Like it's a weakness. And basically they're trying to say that women are the same as men, and no, they are not. And that's the differences of that is what makes the characters what they are and makes them relatable. It's like if I see a female character, I want to see a female character behave as a female character. Men and women have different strengths. They have different weaknesses. Mm-hmm. And we play off of each other. And that has been the basis of so much storytelling and movies and film for years.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, now we have this, basically you either have feminized men or masculine women.
Right.
And somehow they think that that's supposed to sell.
Yeah, I don't think it's very attractive for a woman to have a larger penis than me. So
no.
Because it's just like I don't feel like I'm associating with a woman. But the one thing that makes the teamwork between the genders value is the fact that we are more alike than we are different, but the differences are so profound that that's what allures us to each other. And those differences allow us to sort of work together. We play with our strengths so that we can survive, because the entire reality of our existence is that there are more things out in the universe trying to kill us than keeping us alive. So the fact that we can make it this far shows the strength of our ability and why we're the dominant species on this planet. And I think more stories about us working together, like teamwork, is kind of like the best lesson you can learn for as a young child and well into your adulthood. We need each other, and we can be different, and we can be more than just our assigned roles, but there's value to the roles that nature has put in our laps that we cannot escape from, and we play that hand as best we can to help ourselves and the people we care about. That's what it is all about. And the other part that currently new writers keep missing is strength doesn't come from muscle. It comes from difficult decisions. And that's what makes a character really strong. Like, for instance, Scott, not to get too personal, but we know that you're a man in recovery. And it takes a lot of strength to make that decision, to abandon such a pleasurable addiction that maybe causes a lot of pain, but that pain can be nullified by the addiction itself.
Right.
So being able to overcome that and not be slave to that, and live a life embracing and overcoming the pain of that absence takes way more strength than whatever you can lift at the gym.
Right. Right. And you know what? That's a valid point. I mean, and as I always go back to, George R. Martin writes about the heart and conflict. And I think that's one of the greatest stories of any type of story being told. When you understand what motivates, what hurts, what gets this character up in the morning and going. Like, we learn nothing about mostly these women, and now a lot of the men. All we learn about is that this writer wanted to switch them, you know, and they switch these roles, and it doesn't help. Like Princess Leia is a character that 90% of the OT movie, she is a badass, but that 10%, when you see that vulnerable feminine side, that's what makes us fall in love with her, men and women. That she can be both.
Yeah,
she can kill you, but there is that soft side to her that needs the man in the most unexpected man to do it, to crack that hard shell.
She could choke me in that gold bikini.
You know, like that's a beautiful story. I hate Steven. I don't know what he's
I always
saying.
admired Princess Leia, but I was never like attracted to her on a sexual nature, probably just because of I knew of this character as a very toddler, and then even through my prepubescent years, it just didn't compute for me. I was way more interested in women that were in my reach, not necessarily physically, but just who talked to me. They were more interesting than the fantasy characters I would see on books or television. So, well, I don't find anything wrong with liking or the fashion choices of characters and what they wear. It was just kind of weird to be like, really, Princess Leia? I mean, yeah, she definitely has all the characteristics I'd love in a woman, but
right.
Yeah, But
I'm not talking about the sexy part of her. What I'm talking about is the vulnerable. Unless Steven said something.
Steven's about the sexy part. Yes, the vulnerability of how she was strong enough to like say, "Hey, I will give you the rebel base," and then he's like, "You'll destroy it anyway," and she just goes, "What? No, desperately, do not, please, don't." And she's begging everything. Like that also takes strength as well, but it shows her strength in her own vulnerability of not wanting to see her people destroyed.
Right. And another thing, one of the things that I loved about Princess Leia, because I thought she was a complete and total badass, but there were times when she was not allowed to be vulnerable. And one of the reasons that I like The Empire Strikes Back so much is because there were so many scenes where she was vulnerable.
Right.
And remember when they lowered Han Solo into that carbonite and the look on her face, we had never seen that before.
She was powerless and devastated.
Yes. And you saw it. And the fact that you're just like, she has been a complete and total badass. And now this happens to her. And you can relate to that, to the point that, you know, when Chewie was basically going to choke the crap out of Lando, you're like, yeah, you really need to do it, you know?
And she's the only character that gets shot with a blaster twice in the whole series.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Wait a minute, what?
Really?
Yeah, she gets stunned in the first
That's
film.
right.
And then she's shot in the shoulder in the third.
Oh,
That's right.
And she gets back up.
Yep.
You know, I've had a lover or two that I'd like to freeze in carbonite. Scott, can you hear me yet?
Yes, I could freaking hear you, salami boy.
So I'm sorry, guys. I apologize for keep dropping out. My fucking security's under constant attack. So
what is going on?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't give out my passwords. I'm not stupid about that kind of thing.
You did fall asleep and took a nap, though.
I took a nap. Oh, yeah, you dick.
Yeah, I'm just saying. When all your passwords are sausage lover 99.
My verification is Scott doesn't listen to me.
No, I don't.
Doesn't appreciate my words.
I don't. I do not at all. So as we move on, because no one wants to talk to you, we were going to talk about another strong female character, and that is Brie Larson. Brie. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I make everybody sick?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bear was the first to show me a little. Bear, why don't you bring that up? You don't have to bring it up on screen, but what did Brie sign on with now?
Right. Let me pull it up.
No. You don't have to pull it up.
Pull it out?
My Wi-Fi is not going to help you with that. But what was the product?
No, I have.
Oh,
I
Oh, yeah.
I had
Yeah,
to
well,
look
it was-
at it to reference it.
It was
Gotcha,
relatively new news.
Yeah, I think it was Nintendo, wasn't it?
Seriously?
Yeah.
I thought it was foot fungus.
Yeah,
That
Nintendo
would be
Switch
better.
Or was it Gold Bond?
brace is basically Brie
Summer's
Larson
Eve.
on how in Switch Animal Crossing bonds her to her sister.
Bond's sister.
I couldn't hear him because he's breaking up.
Wait,
What-
James Bond has a sister?
James Bond has a sister, and it's Brie Larson now.
What?
That's what I heard.
My internet's acting wonky.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is it James Bond's sister though?
No,
Oh God, Jesus! I
No.
almost threw up.
Pulling
in
your
there.
leg.
Nintendo.
Oh my God.
She was hired by
Nintendo
Nintendo.
Switch.
Yeah. To
Why
do a
do-
commercial, I
Why
guess.
are people hired?
Yeah.
Do they think because of a billion dollar movie that everyone has panned that she
Nintendo
is?
wants to let you know that one of their games is supporting anti-woman stuffs. That's what it is. Because that's what she's gonna do on any commercial she's on. She's gonna tell you what to drop the taco. She's gonna tell you.
So this chick is the face person for Nintendo for Animal Crossing.
Thank you.
Did I get that right? Okay, I just got that game. I'm kind of pissed now.
Well, pretty soon Bree's gonna be
The
coming
title
across the
of
screen.
article in the chat.
Pretty soon Bree's gonna come hopping across that screen in your Animal Crossing. And you have fun with that.
Why the
Alright,
heck
hold
are
on
they
one
pushing
second.
this chick?
Why?
Everything she touches turns to crap.
All right.
And
Let's
I didn't
take a
watch
second.
Captain Marvel. I refused to
Remember,
watch
a
that movie.
musician dumped her. Like, that takes a lot. Like, a no-name musician dumped Brie Larson
But-
after, like, 10 years.
Oh, I mean, but to her credit, we have heard no stories of her taking a dump in his bed. So,
Yeah.
she's still better than Amber Heard.
Ew.
I mean,
Ew.
Amber was taking dumps and cutting people's fingers off. Like that's
Oh my god.
maybe
Well,
that should be the
fingertips,
bar.
Yeah.
Fingertips, yeah, just the tip.
Gross.
So maybe that should be considered the bar. Maybe Brie comes in just underneath Heard. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Well, I mean, yeah, she we have no record of her doing any abuse to a partner aside from just being with them. So,
True. That's a good one.
but I
Oh.
think that has more to do with. I think that she's been manipulated by a lot of publicists and people in Hollywood because before her Marvel association, when she kind of got a little bit from Scott Pilgrim and from 21 Jump Street when she was doing interviews and things like that. She was a normal person, a normal actor, little airheady, yes, but not what's going on now. So someone is feeding her lines. She's like Ronald Reagan during his second term, where he thinks he's in a movie and they're just giving him scripts and having fun with that. So the rumor goes. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Seeing actors when they get this big burst of, I guess, kind of fame, but not really, like infamy, and they're going crazy.
Yes, sir. Going crazy. Give me 30 seconds. Just keep talking. Say something smart, Sporking. Not Sporking. I'm sorry, not Sporking. He doesn't say smart things. The white guy, the really white guy. I'm sorry, that's who I meant.
What, me
Script
talk
doctor
more?
Silva.
I don't. Well, we have
Hashtag.
Red Gaze who's joining us. So hello, Red Gaze.
What's up?
Hello.
What's up? How is everyone?
Hello.
Oh, we're doing good, gays. It just got real gays up in here. I wanted to say that. Like, that was going to be my line. We just got real gays up in here. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm typing.
always.
I'm going, gays, my security's getting hacked.
What is wrong with you right now, Stephen? What's going
I
on?
got an internet STD. The internet gas got me.
Did Tardigrade
Oh,
give it to you?
Fucking internet gas.
Internet gas got me, and it gave me a virus. It didn't connect me to the internet like it does some new superheroes.
It gave you a virus like pink eye?
I don't. It's a little
Internet
bit more.
pink eye gas?
A little bit worse than that.
Was it brown eye?
It's yeah. Before we move forward, Bear, you want to make a pitch for tonight? And let Scotty back in if you can.
Yeah. My internet right now is acting a little long, and it'll give me a chance to get some things set up for Fourth Wave Late Edition. Yeah, on the card, I'm gonna give that the last episode. I'm gonna give that one a 4. I think being generous, giving it a 4. Yeah, Leia is awesome. Best female character ever. Who's singing?
Sorry, that was me. I was practicing my R&B
Someone sing it?
routine for tonight.
Well, whoever's singing got a good voice. Stop me about your backs. Okay, I'm gonna get going. And
All right, buddy.
nice to see you again, Nerd Game. It's nice to stream with you, Nerd Cookies.
Yeah, you too, man.
I'm trying to figure out.
and
Bear,
Doctor,
Bear
both,
has the
Nick
great.
Skater.
Well,
And,
Stephen has like
I'm gonna go
35.
pull the power on the router.
Okay. All right. Bear, have a great show tonight. Please make sure you guys check the Fourth Wave Late Edition with Bear Nerd Fun, Final Death Star, maybe Immortal Coil, and some guests. I hope you have a great night, Bear. Stay safe, buddy.
Hail Bear.
Oh, and
Peace. Oh,
Come-
I totally dropped him. I'm sorry, Bear. Oh, that was messed up. I don't know where Steven is. He keeps jumping in and out. Does
Scott's
some
a
crazy stuff.
dick.
Sorry, Bear.
There he is.
Scott is a dick. Scott,
Wow, this is
Don't-
we are very professional here on the
and he
Fourth
doesn't
Wave.
listen to me, and he doesn't hear a word
We
I
suck.
have to say, no matter what I do.
We suck.
He just wants to serve me.
Is
his
Steven
meat
still talking?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
and ignore me. At
Red,
all
I'll just
times.
let you know that I can't hear you for the first couple minutes you come in, and
Scott's
Steven's
a
messing with me
dick.
because I'm on hotel Wi-Fi. Though he does love sausage.
Oh, I know that. That's no secret.
Yes, sir.
He doesn't listen. He doesn't listen, gays. He doesn't listen to anyone.
Well, he just responded to what I said, so I think he's listening to me.
Oh, I hear
That's
Red
messed up.
Gaze because he's actually someone of importance.
Damn. Listen, everyone here is
Getting all
special,
cruel,
except
Scott.
for the ones who aren't.
Red Gaze,
I
actually,
hope-
you were on my very
I hope
first
you get Brie
stream ever.
Larson toe fungus.
Steven, shut your face. I'm trying to give the man some props. You don't even know how to introduce him. He was sitting there for like a minute and a half before you even noticed he was there. Red Gaze, you were on my first ever live stream with Stephen, the author, Stephen. And I appreciated you helping me out on my first one. And I'm glad you're back to talk about your comic. So
Yes,
I
sir, no
heard,
problem.
yeah. So what's your comic's name and give us a little info about it.
Well, it's actually not a comic. It's a
Okay, I'm
full-length
in that.
novel. No, it's good. It's all good. It's easy to get confused because it's kind of Comicsgate related, but it's not a comic book. It's a full-length novel, space fantasy. There will be a visual companion coming, available along with it if you want to pick that up, full of concept art from Comicsgate artists, several artists. It's going to be good.
Wow.
And Vinny Tartamello, if you're familiar with him,
Yes.
has done the cover. Cover's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Very happy with that. And it just came about January, following The Last Jedi. I got tired of bickering with people online who kept telling me if I don't like The Last Jedi, why don't I write my own story? And I decided I'm going to write my own story.
Oh my
So
God.
that's
That's awesome.
that's where this came from.
And I didn't realize it was a novel. That's Steven's fault. I'll blame him. So how it took you how long then? Like a year and a half, 2 years to write it, or how long has it been now? God.
It's been about 2 years. But that's I'm not sitting down and writing every day. There were a couple month breaks here, a couple month breaks there. And all in all, it's probably about a year of continuous writing, I would say.
Okay.
If you were to pack it all together.
And
Are there boobs in your story?
Yeah, he always needs boobs.
Well, I mean, there's boobs running around, and you can kind of, it's up to your imagination.
Are they aliens? Like just giant breasts with feet running around, literally, or?
Well, Stephen wanted that, but I wasn't sure if that would really fly with normal people. So,
Yeah.
I am normal, gays. I am normal.
Did he just say I'm normal gay? I don't know what he
Yes.
said, but
confirmed.
now, Gaze, I don't know if you've been on with Script before. Script Doctor's a writer too, so it's kind of cool to have Oh, I guess Steven's a writer. Totally forgot that.
It's in his name.
Yeah. Yeah. And I call myself Captain Scott. You know, I'm sorry, Vice Principal Scott, but I don't teach. So what can you give us a little premise of what the story's about, or do you want to go there at all?
Oh yeah, I can. There's basically you're starting with a almost not quite utopian society, right? They've the galaxy has been war torn before, but over the past few centuries, it's kind of come together. Everyone's provided for. Citizens really want for nothing, but they still have a remnant of military from the old days. And you have this group of space mystics, is what we'll refer to them now, because that's what people are familiar with, right? They're called the Disciples of Ul. They're basically, there's you know, I don't know if you've ever heard the theory that the universe began from crystal.
Ooh,
But
no.
that's kind of a premise I'm running with.
Okay.
Everything kind of stems from these crystals of power, and the mystics use these crystals to do, you know, really cool shit. So the Disciples of Ul are a remnant. They're what's left. They're the emerald wielding sect, and they've basically become pacifists. Like, they will not interfere in galactic events because, you know, they've come to the conclusion that their powers are too vast to really get involved. So what they do is sit back and watch and record history.
Mm.
And what's going to happen is there's someone who, yeah, this story is not restricted to one galaxy. There's a whole universe out there, and there's people outside of the Astral Union, which is, you know, the governing body of the galaxy we're dealing with.
Oh wow.
That would like to claim that for their own. So
Beautiful.
Now, yeah, it is. So this can easily become a multi-book novel series, correct?
absolutely, I have. You know, I'm not going to pull a George Lucas and claim everything is mapped out 100% to the letter, but I do have a rough outline for 6 books.
Oh wow.
Will there be any Mary Sues?
No.
Damn it.
Okay, that's very important today. Apparently, they keep giving us those characters. Any Gary Stews?
I don't really see the point. Anybody who enters this story that seems to be super powerful and untouchable will be proven otherwise. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, that's awesome. So just like what we were before you got on, Nerdy Cookie said that perfectly, and Lorena followed it up. The problem sometimes with characters are that we only see, like, well, maybe Nerdy Cookie, you say it better than me, but it's like they're either like infallible or they're lately we've been just gender swapping, you know, and it doesn't help. How did you put that, Nerdy Cookie? Why don't you throw that out there, Elena?
Yeah, they're just yeah, they're just mostly one-dimensional, and just there's no they're not relatable, basically, is what it comes down to. They're too powerful, they're too strong. It's just it's too much for anyone, no matter what your gender is, to relate to, and it just is, this trend, it just keeps happening. And I can't see anyone actually liking it, or little kids liking it, little girls. I just don't understand. If they're too powerful and that's the only thing about them, like, we never see them struggle. We never see them fail or have any significant flaws. And that's just, it's not what humans do.
Right.
No,
We can't relate to
They're
that.
essentially saying women don't have
Relatable.
anything to learn. That's what they're trying to say.
Right.
They know it all at the start. They have
Yeah.
nothing new to learn.
You're inborn knowing everything you need
And
to,
regardless
you
of your
don't
gender,
screw
I mean, it's what the person goes through,
Right.
is what people can relate to. Luke Skywalker
Right.
was my favorite. He didn't have to be a woman,
Right.
and I loved his journey.
Well, that's now that's why I asked
Yeah.
you guys this question, because Gaze, how do you create somebody's backstory? Like, what do you do? Do you take all that into consideration when you are building your characters?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Backstory definitely plays a key role. It's not something, you know, when you introduce a character, you don't want to, you know, have them sit down with another character and tell them everything they've been through, obviously. But it's something you just kind of bleed in as you go. And, you know, you reveal details here and details there. You know, when I first introduce characters, I like to, you know, give them kind of a short introduction to the character, be it them speaking with another character, or just, you know, so-and-so walks in, he's highly regarded in this, in this sense. This is what he does, that kind of thing. But yeah, everybody's kind of backstory kind of comes together through the story. It's not all going to be revealed at once, and that kind of stuff bothers me too. And there also isn't going to be why is this character so powerful? You're never going to learn that until the third book, when I decide to go another route with it.
Right.
Everybody, if there's somebody in the book that seems ultra powerful, there's a reason for that, and nobody is untouchable.
That's awesome. That's the way it should be.
Weaknesses are very important in character development.
Yes.
Because weaknesses make them relatable to the reader, and that's something that's been missing. When you have characters that can do anything, that are just powerful for no reason, or they have to invent reasons later on because of the questions that are brought up, because of the lack of real character development. I mean, that presents a real problem. It's a disconnect between audiences of any kind, whether you're reading or watching a movie or a series. And that's one of the things that I do when I'm writing my science fiction, is that I always make sure that there is a weakness, or an amount of weaknesses, or personal defects, personality defects that play into the character that can be used against them and make them relatable.
Right. And you mentioned Luke Skywalker. I mean, if you want to take the opposite of that, Darth Vader entered that story very powerful, but by the end of it, he goes on a journey of his own, and you understand that this man has weaknesses too. He is just a man. Well,
he lost part of it on Mustafar, but we'll find that out later.
Okay, individual, is that a better word?
There we
just
go.
a person.
And I find what you're saying is what drives me to want to read a book. George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire, I bring it up a lot, and that's the reason why I read those books, because yes, it's set in a fantasy world, but yet I'm more interested in the characters, what's going on with the characters. And when you don't think anyone's safe, those are the best ones to read, man.
Oh yeah.
So I'm glad to hear you say that.
I apologize. Like, I am on mobile, so I can't read text, do anything in the chat. Do we have any mods in the chat?
We have a number of them.
Couple of
Well, okay, cool. Could one of you guys do me a favor and look up Sunsworn and share that link for Red Gaze?
Yeah, that's Sunsworn, right? SWORN.
Yeah,
Do you have it?
I'll link that in the private chat for you.
All right, cool.
One moment.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's an
seeing...
element I think people lose sometimes too, is they think, well, it's it's a fantasy setting or it's a sci-fi setting, things don't have to make sense. But as far as the characters go, as far as character development and what drives them, I think that still has to make sense.
Yes.
Well, yeah, in those genres, you make up your own rules and you stick to those rules, and your audience will go along with it. The moment you start going against those rules, that's when they say, "Hey, this doesn't make sense. This is
Highlander 2." Yeah, Highlander 2. Yeah.
Oh yeah, were there aliens that forgot their past?
I love Highlander. Oh, and then they killed it with Highlander 2.
Highlander 3 was not bad.
I liked. Well, that's because they brought back the original formula. They had Mario Van Peebles come in instead of Clancy Brown, and he was the Kurgan character. They kind of kept the same flow from the first, and you're right, it wasn't that bad. I personally like Endgame because the way I look at the movies is 2 and 3 is in an alternate universe. I watch the first one. I just forget the fact that he got the quickening. You got to forget the fact that it's the end of the freaking set. That's it. It's a one and done, but you got to forget that. And then you watch Highlander the series, and then watch Highlander Endgame. And then the source never happened. It never happened.
I will say the most magical aspect of the Highlander series is when Connor McLeod just tells Owen, "Yeah, I'm over 400 years old," and that immediately is like panty dropper, and they just start going at it. There's no other romantic development up to that point. It's just, I've been around for 400 years, and then there's like, just do me now, and we get a love scene. It's like, well, that's so weird. That doesn't work in real life. I've tried.
Well, she understood the power of the long stroke, and he had a very long stroke. 400 years, man.
For sure. Did you
But
notice
there's no way
they
for him
tried
to prove that.
Did you notice they tried to retcon Highlander 2 and they re-released it, removing all the alien elements and all that nonsense?
Yes, they had the what was it, the director's cut. And I like both versions. The director's cut, they tried to fix it, but it's you can't fix that.
It's unfixable.
Yeah.
Ivan Ortega couldn't fix that.
Nope.
Oh, that's hard.
God,
That's tough. Oof.
Is there any nerdy cookies? Is it? There's a new Dune something coming out, correct?
Yeah, a new adaptation. It's supposed to be 2 movies. The novel, Frank Herbert's novel Dune, is supposed to be split up into 2 movies, and the first of which is this winter. And also a series supposed to be coming out on HBO Max. It's called Dune: The Sisterhood.
And do you have any
don't
hope
have
in this day and age of it being done with respect to the source material?
Okay, you broke up a little bit, but I think
I'm sorry.
what you said. What I've heard from Denis Villeneuve, who's the director, in interviews, this is a movie he's wanted to adapt for years. It's a story he fell in love with as a kid. And he said he's going back to the book. He wants to, present it in a way of what he saw when he read it as a kid. So that gives me hope in itself. And from movies that I've seen of his, it's going to be beautiful. I think that's definitely for sure. And I am excited because now.
Sorry to interrupt. Scott just didn't read the terms of service. That's so foolish.
I don't care. It's red gaze, whatever the terms are. If I don't have to kid my firstborn, I'm signing up for his indie to go. I knew you were going to say something. I knew it.
Listen, we've all seen that South Park episode. We don't want that happening to anyone here.
Yeah. Well, just way to blow up what she was saying there, bro.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. God, you're such a man.
Y'all sound like robots to me.
What a man. Sorry. Can you please go on?
I have to check my internet.
Nerd cookies. Wow, you
Sorry.
destroyed it.
Hold on.
Good job.
No, she's checking her internet. We're all having internet issues. We're all having issues today.
We are, man. I wanted to get
switch
this
to
up here before my internet crashes. And I'm really sorry, Red Gaze. We're gonna have to have you on again to make sure that everyone gets to see this. Maybe when Steven and I both have better service. And but the indie to go to
Gaze, what are you doing next week?
Editing.
All right.
Editing?
So you can join us
do you want to
again
jump on the 4th next week?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right,
so
cool.
I did put the Indiegogo in the chat. It's under my name, Sporking News Podcast. Please sign up, get the information on it. Please support people in our fandom, man. Comicsgate and the Fandom Menace might be 2 different fandoms, but a lot of us cross over. So when we can support them, it's like supporting our own, because we all kind of want the same thing. We want the bullshit and the politics out of our comics and our movies and our TV to get those agendas out. And we just want to have good stories. So let's support him and let's build it up so he can actually do book 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hopefully, and on to that. So,
Yeah,
and it's one thing. Oh, go ahead, guys.
I was just going to say, I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why I decided to go forward with the novel is because of what you just said. I do have some comics in the work, but I thought this was more important at the moment because, Comicsgate, they kind of had an advantage. A comic is obviously much easier to produce than a movie or a TV show or anything of that regard. But I wanted to make it known, there's other forms of entertainment. There's other things we can do. And a novel is definitely one of those. And I mean, I hope this encourages other people to do something similar because I love to read. And I think this is a good way we can kind of, strike back and say, fuck you. We're going to make our own entertainment.
Right. I think one of the things that Fandom Menace is doing is, fighting for our modern mythologies. But I mean, we've got to come to a point of acceptance where there's only so much we can do. We can give our opinions. We can criticize. We can try and help improve the outlook of these creators. But I mean, the one thing that we absolutely can do is support independent creators, fresh ideas, new minds. And this is why I think that it's something that Fandom Menace should get behind, is supporting independent creators like Gaze, like people in Comicsgate. This is the next step for us. If the industry is not going to listen, if they're not going to respect the fans, then let's move on. Let's create our own. Let's support these independent creators that are creating their own universes, and let's support them, and let's do that.
Well, you're absolutely right, Stephen. We have so many talented people. in both fandoms. You know, we have guys that are making, you know, short movies. We're having people like you guys writing books. We have people like Script that are trying to, you know, beat doors down for people like us in Hollywood and take over our fandom again. But if we can't do that, create new fandom, create new materials, stuff that we all can get behind and not worry about, oh, when is this going to take the left turn I don't want to see? You know,
It
I
all
just
comes
want to
from a
fall in love
consumer
with the
movement.
story. Yeah.
And it all comes from consumer movements. That's what it is. And so the people that are doing these things, the people like that are writing books like Gaze, they're, you know, they are the consumer that has been told that they're rejected from things that they have loved. So the value of the consumer, the customer, the fan of these projects are going to appreciate the people that support them. So let's show them that support.
And Gaze, where are you in the process with the novel? Is it still in you know, editing, writing phase? Where are you?
I'm on the second draft right now. Right now, I'm really trimming the fat, rewriting some scenes, and yeah, I'm hoping by the end of maybe Wednesday or so, I'll be ready to start the third draft.
Nice. So let's make sure we support them, and you know, support the Indiegogo so we can keep working on this. You know, I'm going to take this off screen because I know it's causing issues with my internet. But
Scott, do you mind if I show you something quick?
Yeah, please. Where is it?
Brought up this is the cover, and I know, you know, you say never judge a book by its cover.
I did want to see this. Hold on one second.
But I wanted to tell you, I worked very closely with Vinny on this to make sure it perfectly encapsulates what's going on inside the story. So,
well, for starters, you definitely always judge a book by its cover. If they're going to put this is the advertising of it on the shelf, right. So you want to get people to pick it up, and then from there, it's all up to the content inside to keep them hooked.
Yeah, man.
And Vinny helped you with that.
Oh, this is all Vinny, man. You know, the only thing that came from me was the general design and the input. You know, we actually got on a hangout while he drew this up. So,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it came out really well.
That is wonderful. Hail Vinny, beautiful.
Yeah,
man.
Vinny's a master.
Man. That is gorgeous. That really is. That gives you everything. I mean, you see what you're gonna read about. I love that, and I love anything with. Yeah, right, Lorraine. Anything with magic, I just love reading. So, I like to see how you explained it, the power at the beginning of the creation of the universe, and how there's still some remnants of that. I find that really interesting. That is awesome, man. I'm going to keep that up for a little bit. You have anything else you want to add to that, Red?
Well, I'm going to be 100% honest. I haven't totally nailed down my pitch just yet. That's something I'm still working on. So, yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah.
I'm planning on launching this next week, probably Thursday.
Okay.
I actually wanted to launch yesterday, but I'm still kind of fiddling around with the campaign page and tweaking it up because I don't want to put something out there and be like, oh, wait, never mind. I want to change this. You know what I mean? I want to make sure it's 100% ready to go before I put this put people's eyes on this.
Well, if you need help with your pitch, my only advice is focus on your main character, where they are, what they want, and what's going to stop them from getting that. Those three things. That's all you got to do to put in your pitch to get people to sort of grasp on. So, regardless of how expansive the story is, if you can focus on that for your pitch, that will help out a lot of people.
Cool, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, Script knows his thing. Script knows his thing. And just from what I could see and how passionate you sound about it, man, like I just know, I know whatever you go with, I know I'm buying it. So,
I appreciate that. And this,
definitely.
Honestly, like this is 2 years in the making, but it's really more because I'm a tabletop role player. And the groups that I've been running with for years and years and years, we all just make our own material. You know, we don't do any canned adventures, anything like that. Everything comes from us. And this began actually as a superhero campaign that I put together, like an intergalactic superhero campaign to play in space. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, this is actually about 15 years old.
So, if there's
Nice.
some way you could write in rolling a die, that would be dope.
The Die of Destiny.
Yeah, the die of destiny. Like, come on, 15 or higher, you know, like, oh, shit. That'd be awesome. That's great, man. Well, thank you for sharing this with us. We'll have you on next week. Once you launch it, I mean, if you launch it this week, come on next week so we can actually push the actual launch. I would
Yeah,
love
for sure, man. I'd be happy to come back anytime.
Yeah, and we'll actually have a better show because Stephen will be running it and not me, because I found out 5 minutes before that it was me running it because Stephen and I have horrible Wi-Fi right now. But
well, it's been going around. It's not just you two. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people that are having internet issues right now.
yeah, it's everybody's at home, man. Everybody's
It's
at
internet
home.
gas. It's internet gas. It's gotten out all over the place.
However,
Everyone's
public transit
blaming
has
us.
never been. However, public transit has never been more efficient now than ever before.
Oh,
It's
I believe it.
ridiculous.
With no people.
now that everyone's staying at home, public transportation
It actually works now. It's fantastic.
Let me ask the ladies, if you saw a cover like that being in the fandom, what would you think? I mean, this is good feedback for the author. I think it looks amazing. I mean, I could tell you right now, if I saw that, I'd buy it. So
It's
what do you-
freaking badass. I mean,
There you go.
seriously,
Who first?
It really is. I
think it looks
It
awesome.
would make me stop. It would make me stop. And
This
look.
is so eye-catching.
I mean,
It
that
is.
one, that main face of that, the wizard, you know, I'll call him the wizard, is just I just want to see more of that. I mean, look,
that and the glow,
Yeah,
and
that-
the way
that's
it matches the
focal point
colors.
for me.
Yeah,
This looks very mysterious and
Nerd
just
Cookie,
beautiful.
you feel
Beautifully
the
drawn.
same way?
She's been saying the same way, Scott. You don't even listen. You
I'm
don't
sorry,
listen to
can you
people,
not hear me?
Scott.
How the
No, I heard you. Scott just doesn't want to hear you.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
on
I
my
lost
phone's
her.
internet,
Oh,
so
shit. Now she can call me an asshole.
oh no.
No, I like the purple coloring. I'm a fan of the color purple. No pun intended. Yeah, and I just
I love
this.
Goldberg too.
You what?
I said I love Whoopi Goldberg too.
Well, who doesn't?
Was
I
it
don't,
Oprah that
but-
was in the
Besides
film?
everyone.
That was just a Whoopi. Okay, you said the color purple. I tried to joke. I failed. It happens, people. Move
I
on.
wasn't listening to you, Scott. I wasn't like you do to other people. I wasn't
that's-
listening.
That's like our whole relationship, Steven.
We need to
The
see
odd
this
couple.
bickering on like the same screen. Like you guys are next to each other. You got your headphones on. You're both speaking into the mic, but Scott still can't hear Steven.
Where's the beef? Oh, that was wrong. I didn't even think about that one. Okay, go on, Steven, with what you were going to say. I will allow it.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I was just making room for Nerdy Cookies because you've been very disrespectful. She was trying to speak and talk about how poppin' this. cover
Sorry about
was.
that. I'll shut up.
No worries. Yeah. It looks awesome. It's yeah, I love the colors. It's really, really eye-catching, and yeah, it definitely draws you in for sure.
Cool, man.
I'm
Appreciate it.
excited.
I'm glad to hear it. That's exactly what we were going for. When I first presented this to Vinny, he was like, "Oh man, I thought there was gonna be like 2 or 3 characters." I'm like, "No, man, this has to be epic."
What?
All the
I-
characters.
Can you say exactly what the swords? What are they?
I can. I can give you. I'll give you the brief version. The Sun Sword. It's called a Soul Blade. Actually, there is a miniaturized star within the hilt that powers it, so that is an actual solar beam. The opposite of that is a Void Saber, which is basically a weaponized black hole.
Oh my God, that's dope.
Nice.
wow.
That's
That's
dope.
awesome.
That is
Like
dope.
that.
Oh,
I mean, it looks cool, but then when you know what it is, that's
Wow.
man. That's cool.
Yeah, and
We
it's
should
not.
get-
It's not like a lightsaber in the sense that you're going to see these all over the place. These are unique items.
Yeah, man. I've never heard of that before. Be prepared for CBS to try to steal it.
Yeah, that copyright.
my God.
That's right. After everything you say, you got to be like copyright. Copyrighted Red Grave.
Copyright Red Gate Studios 2020.
There you go.
Well, if we've been doing this
Gaze-
for 15 years, it's technically 2005. So
Yeah,
good
yeah.
point. Good point.
You need to go back, so they can't be like, we thought of this idea in 2011.
Gaze, do you think Rosario Dawson's going to be a good Ahsoka Tano?
I don't think she'll be the worst Ahsoka Tano.
Did you want Brie Larson to be Ahsoka Tano?
No, I want Brie Larson to go away.
That seems like it's the general consensus. I know I missed half the damn show because of my security issues. I'm sure you guys have covered this already, but I know Gaze didn't, and I wanted the Gaze perspective.
I'm not sure that Rosario Dawson can speak as fluidly as Ahsoka. I'm not sure about that. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you have a valid point. You have a very valid point. The older Ahsoka has a certain tone to her when she speaks. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, my only concern would really be the voice. I think she's got the look. I think she'll do all right.
Yep.
But it's not really necessarily up to her. It's up to directors and writers, and
I didn't get to hear what the ladies thought about that because I was cut out. Would you girls mind saying that? What your opinion is of it again?
I really haven't watched very much.
Me
of
first,
the
or
Clone
Lorraine? You
Wars.
want?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we could hear you. Yeah, why don't you go first, Lorraine, and then we'll have Elaine go after you.
Oh, okay. I really haven't watched the Clone Wars series, so I know of the character of Ashoka Tano. It really honestly didn't bother me that Rosario Dawson got cast for it. I like her pretty much as an actress. I didn't really see any issue with having her cast. I'm glad it definitely was not Brie Larson. I will tell you that much.
All right. What about you, Nerdy?
Sorry, I couldn't tell if she was talking and I couldn't hear her.
We're all
that's all right.
having
Just act like
It's
Scott.
okay.
That's fine. Just be like Scott. It doesn't
I
matter
wasn't sure
who's
if it was me.
No, it's the Nerdy Cookies show now. It's all. Go ahead. It's all yours.
It's not Brie Larson, so that's awesome. And itself. I'm a little confused though about her whole timeline. I was surprised that she's even in The Mandalorian. Well, I guess we just don't know. I just assumed she'd be dead by now, but maybe that's because I thought Luke and Leia were the only Jedi at the time.
They're not worried about timelines. We have Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Though
Yeah.
technically,
We do
we gotta go. Technically, she is not a Jedi. She left the Order, so that's the
That's
way they
true.
slip it in. But I mean, they did kill her off for the last movie we just saw. That the movie I will not speak its name, even though they even though they still try to say she's not dead because what's his name Filoni does not want to ever admit she died, like she's an eternal being or something, like she'll live on forever. But yeah, I don't know. What do you feel about her as an actress? Do you think she could pull off that feeling that, because I think Gaze has something there, like she looks like her, but can she pull off Ahsoka?
Yeah.
No one's asking you, Stephen. No one's asking you.
I'm speaking now, Scott.
We're asking Nerd Cookie. Can our guest please speak?
I think definitely. I think she can. I think she's a good actress. I really think it depends the most on the directing and the screenwriting. I think she can do her job well. I'm sure she has that appearance. I think that'll look great. She has that maturity to her, I think is important. I guess at this time, she's going to be very much seasoned. Yeah, I'm just very curious as to how they're going to work that in. Is it a cameo or is it an actual regular part of the show of the season?
Or it might
I don't know
be
if
a
they
spin-off.
confirmed. Or
Yeah. What did you say, Script? Do you think it could be a spinoff?
Like a backdoor pilot, so they'll have maybe one episode where the Mandalorian hands over Baby Yoda to Ahsoka, and we have an Ahsoka Tano show where she has to find Baby Yoda's home planet, and the Mandalorian can go back to being a Mandalorian and hunting down bounties and stuff.
Well, yeah, go ahead, nerd.
So, will this be their way? Nerd, that's fine. This be their way of getting Baby Yoda out of the I get out of the way, I guess, so to speak, as far as Luke's story and just the whole story of at this time. I don't know.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a way of getting Carl Weathers out of the way. I think Ahsoka and Carl are going to be a tag team and have their own show.
I want more Carl Weathers.
I know. I would take Steven's word on it because Steven is really good with backdoor pilots. So I think he would know.
Backdoor anything, really.
I do think Baby Yoda is becoming was too heavily relied upon as far as the Force powers went, and it just I liked more of when the Mandalorian was kicking butt and falling on his face. I don't know.
Getting his butt kicked.
I like that. But I liked it when he wasn't as powerful. I liked when Baby Yoda just had that flicker of power, every now and then at the end it's like, all right, it's a little too much, especially the Force healing. Because if he's with him all the time, then that will always have to be explained as the Force healing thing.
They really ruined the concept of it, because what it should have been is that it should hurt the person who is conducting the healing. Like, for instance, if you said, okay, I can save this person from dying, but it's going to be one life for a life. If that was the rule, then you can make it where it's like, well, I'll join in on that, link us together, and half of my life will go to help bring this person back, half of your life, and then from there it actually has consequences, meaning that you're not going to live as long as the Force would have originally allowed, because you have actually given away your potential to save someone else. And that's why you could have something like Padme dying being something that the other Jedi just could not maybe do or accomplish, because
or weren't
ethically
willing.
wrong, or be willing. Yeah, because it'd be ethically wrong to sacrifice other people's lives for one individual, because then you have the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one, and you have that little parallel there. And I think that would be something that the Jedi would oppose to, because they said that's a link to the dark side, where they can steal the life of others to prolong their own, and it's easily corruptible, and that's why we don't teach it. That's why we consider it a forbidden lesson.
Yeah,
because it has those. Yeah, it's taboo. It has great consequences to the person doing it, because what's not to be able to tempt you for immortality? And it's immortality on the physical plane as opposed to immortality through the Force, which is what the Jedi would promote.
That's the way it should go. Go ahead, Lorena.
I was just going to say, one of the things that I did not like about Baby Yoda, and I love Baby Yoda, is I think they revealed too much about him.
Right.
He should have been like a mystery, kind of like what Nerdy Cookies was saying earlier. It's like, make it more about the Mandalorian and less about Baby Yoda, because now that they've revealed so much, it's like, I like him, but I kind of don't care right now. It's like, if his powers were a mystery and you found out a little bit as you went along every episode, kind of like, does he have Force powers? Does he not have Force powers? Maybe I was just imagining it. I don't know. But I think that is a big mistake that they're making with making Baby Yoda's Force powers so at the forefront.
I mean, and within the second episode he's in, he's picking up a rhino,
Yeah, I did not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was silly.
I did not like that. I was like, is Baby Yoda going to die in this episode? Because, kind of like their red shirt and you have, too many lines, a lot of exposition. Yeah, you're dead.
Right.
Yeah, I've actually Googled and YouTube searched a lot of Mandalorian reviews, and I'm one of the few. Like, I think it's just me, Bounding Into Comics, and another person that have actually criticized the Mandalorian for bad pacing and for David Filoni essentially blowing the load of every concept he comes up with way too early. Like, he has no concept of foreplay. So I feel for anyone that's dating.
Oh, that's hot.
I mean, that's what it is. In story, what you want to do is you don't want to give away all the information in the first act. You kind of want to not so much string the audience along, but you want to just build up to a catharsis for that climax to actually be a climax. But Filoni doesn't do that. He rushes a lot, and Favreau is also guilty of this as well, because the Mandalorian presents an idea, they meander for a while, it's never fully satisfying. I mean, only 3 episodes of that 8-episode season were actually part of a story, and everything else was just kind of like, hey, we got these other characters we're going to bring in later, but we're not really going to do anything with them, and we're going to do a nice little jailbreak on a standing set, but there's no consequences to it. So just enjoy the action scenes that have no meaning or bearing on character. It was just, it just reminded me of like when I was in high school and first year of college. You go to a bar to hang out with friends, and you got that one guy that just comes up, talks a big game, and then you hear from your friend who went home with him that he was a disappointment throughout the entire night.
Were you with me in college?
You
you weren't talking about me. Okay.
No, but you're about 10 years older than me, so
yeah, no,
that'd be weird.
College takes some people 10 years. God, freshman year is hard. Freshman year is hard. Actually, I did it. I dropped out. Anywho, now I just totally derailed that. I'm sorry. But Tom, if you want to come in, jump in. I'll kick Stephen out. What do you think about that, Red Gaze?
You won't listen, Tom.
Yes, I will, Tom. I will listen. What do you think about that? Are you in the camp that have you watched The Mandalorian? First off.
I have, yeah, and I enjoyed it for the most part. It was kind of flat in the middle, but I agree a lot with what Lorena was saying with Baby Yoda. Like I don't hate Baby Yoda. It's not my favorite character. I kind of wish it might have been something else. Just because that species I think should stick with Yoda and just remain completely mysterious.
Yes,
but it seems like they're fleshing him out a little quick. Some of the things he does seem a little off, a little too much or a little too little at times. Shit, I'm sorry. Where was I going with that?
The character doesn't make sense on principle.
You scared the shit out of me.
He won't listen to you.
I'm sorry. Stephen just ran up behind me. I'm almost having a heart attack. Jesus Christ. Keep talking, everyone.
Well, the thing is, this Baby Yoda is 50 years old, and from the example of Luke Skywalker, we know it doesn't take a whole lot of time to learn the Force. It just takes decades to master it and be disciplined to it. So we don't know anything about this child, as they call it, other than that it is 50 years old, and for its own species, that's not significant, really, out of a 900-year-old a possible lifespan. So why it's still behaving like a baby? It just seems like it might just be a survival, playing possum type of tactic at this point.
Yeah, that's something I kind of wondered about as well. Like you said, they live for 900 years at least, but at the same time, is it really gonna, our teenage years gonna be? Are they going to last 200 years? Or
is he a 50-year-old virgin?
Virgin? What the
virgin?
What's a virgin? What's a virgin?
Oh.
Just
I'm
mute.
turning off my mic. Fuck you, Scott.
I would hope so.
They can still hear you on my mic, asshole.
Fuck you, Scott.
Oh, fuck you. Anywho,
you just remember the scene in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 where Mikey and Donatello are fighting over the phone, and April's just on the other end going, "What the hell's going on?" But yeah, I've done the math. If Baby Yoda is still a baby at 50, then that would make Yoda at 900 essentially a teenager. So they die incredibly young and aged horribly. The math doesn't add up. So there should be something more there. Otherwise, the creators behind The Mandalorian really screwed up on their own lore of how a species develops and works, such as Yoda, who has trained Jedi for centuries. So,
Scott, I'm in your bathroom and I'm licking your toilet seat.
Why are you in my bathroom licking my toilet seat? What is wrong with you?
How does that hurt?
It's a thing. I saw it on Twitter.
Corona challenge.
Let me ask Nerd Cookies, is that going to make me give me an issue or him?
Probably both.
Oh, okay.
I think it's safe to say.
I
both
do
have problems.
I bought 35 rolls of toilet paper and cleaner. I could take care of it. Don't worry, everybody. We're good.
That's gold right now.
I know. I'd say it's worth its weight in gold right about now.
You better watch having Stephen in your house. He's going to be selling that stuff on the brown market.
No, I wouldn't show Stephen where I live. No. We're at. Oh, this evening's going to sound worse. We're at a hotel together.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a long
I'm
story.
touching his bed right now.
That sheds some light on the situation.
They're living it out.
Yeah, we're and
quarantine life, baby.
I don't even know how to follow that up. I don't know what to say. I have no clue.
Well, was it at least good for you?
Well, I always drive, so yeah. Stephen is not what I expected. I thought, He talks a big game. Let's just say that.
He's one of those
He has
disappointments we were
nothing-
talking about earlier.
He has nothing but meat in his fridge. Nothing but meat. He's been feeding me his meat since I got here.
Yeah, I do eat a lot of meat.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Thank you, Gaze. I am a keto type guy, okay? I don't eat carbs. I'm a diabetic, and I don't have to take medication when I eat that way. So shut up, Steven.
So it's just fatty meats.
Oh, I'm all about the fatty meat.
They're all phallic-like script.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It's got
sauce.
kielbasa and sausages and
Yes.
basically pork products are usually the better stuff for keto, right?
Yeah, well, no, it's just, oh God, I can go into it, but you want your fat content to be a little higher than your lean protein, and definitely a lot higher than your is he showing my shit?
Yeah.
Open the
Impressive
freezer.
meat you got there.
Open the freezer.
Open the fridge.
Well, some of that's for my kids when I go home because but
Nothing funny in
Aw.
here.
Oh wow.
show him the corned beef
Wow.
cooking. I'm cooking this man corned
He's
beef.
making me dinner. He's making me dinner.
Well, I hope you're putting out then.
Oh,
He better.
Well, it's all sizable portions there. Yeah. That's...
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Y'all are set. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. We're set. You so.
Plenty of toilet paper and sausage.
Actually, you're
That's all
not
you
eating
need.
with that much
Right?
meat. I don't think toilet paper is going to help you because it'll be so blocked.
Your body gets used to it, script, okay? Your body gets used to
Oh,
it.
I bet you go a couple of days without having to go to the washroom.
Well, maybe twice, maybe 2 days. I mean, but sometimes you got to make sure you got to take probiotics, make sure your body's moving, because if it doesn't, holy cow, you were praying to a god you didn't know existed.
Fiber is important.
Yeah.
And make sure.
Man, my favorite cereal is Fiber One. I don't know. It just as soon as I turn 30, it's like, yep, this is what I want. No sugar for me, just Fiber One.
Well, what you don't realize, there's a lot of
Keep it regular.
fiber. You can keep regular on this diet. Like when you take out all the processed foods and all that crap, you get fine with it. You get regular. There's fiber in vegetables. There's fiber actually, maybe in meat. I don't know.
I've been on keto. I really liked it. It really leveled out my blood sugar a lot.
Well, that was my whole thing. I'd wake up with my blood sugar being 550.
Wow.
And since I've done that, I wake up every morning at like 120, and my A1C went from 11.5 down to 5.2. So I'm good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's pretty good. Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad we're talking about my keto diet because of Steven and my meat.
Oh no, I gave up on heavy carbs years ago as well, just because when you're a writer, you spend a lot of time sitting at a computer, and if you don't move much, you start to look pear-shaped. But not
Yeah.
pear-shaped from the stomach, but from like the lower thigh all the way up to the back. And you're like, no, this is horrible. I'm gonna start walking more. And then my doctor's like, listen, just stop eating like breads with more sugar than fiber, and you'll be okay. So that's what I did, and it's worked out quite well for me.
See?
I've never
well, I
done
mean,
keto.
Like this
Oh,
is
Steven's
the
gone,
example
thank
right
God.
now. That's keto.
There's your keto figure. I like it, brother. I like it.
You can
I
do
just-
planks for up to 45 seconds.
Now, Lorena, you don't look like you really need the keto diet. But
I just I'm in the gym a lot, and I do try to lessen my carbs. So I try to cut out as much of the carbs as
oh
possible.
Jesus, he's back.
You never listen to me. You never listen to me.
Shut.
Oh, it doesn't work now. Yeah, you're right here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, no, the thing with the keto, it's really good for people that are, diabetics, high blood or bad cholesterol too. People don't realize that it really levels out. It drops your bad cholesterol, rises your good cholesterol, but it's also like mental health wise. It just, when you eat a lot of carbs, you spike, you crash, you spike, you crash. And I'm crazy enough. So I went on wow, we lost a lot of people watching when we started talking keto. So I think we're going to close it out pretty soon. We've been on for about 2 hours. Red, is there anything you want to say before? But I know you're going to come and launch this with us at one point so we can push your your beautiful book when we're on Stephen's channel and we actually get more people. I've noticed no notifications are going out, so that's probably why we're only having these, 10 or 15, but we would love to have you. Is there anything you want to finish off with?
Yeah, definitely. I just say get down with the gays agenda. Come join the gays community. And there'll be plenty more information on Sunsworn over there, as well as just nonsense and BS.
Thank you, sir. And I'm going to put your link. I'm sorry, I had you on mute there. I'm putting the link again right now, everybody, in the chat.
He's a dick.
Shut your face. And I'll also put your link in our description. So if anybody actually does watch this after, I doubt it, but if anybody actually comes in, at least looks at the description, they'll see it.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me.
Oh, definitely, dude. I like I said, you were on like the first live I ever was on. Sure, you were really cool, and I want to support you and any of the Comic Gate guys if I can. So
he uses you, then he ignores you.
You know what? I got Gaze on. I don't need you anymore. Gaze, you also have a channel, right? You have a YouTube channel?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, and I believe it's called Red Gaze.
Yes, it's called Red Gaze. We do a lot of Comics Gate stuff over there, but we also cover some of the nonsense that's going on in pop culture, as well as just dick around sometimes, just have some fun.
Nice.
You got to do that, or you're going to go mad.
You're absolutely right. And I, again, thank you for coming on. If anybody down, check out Pop Culture Minefield. Those are great guys. They're comic book guys, Gaze. They're a great group of dudes. They had Tom and Andre on the other day talking some, comic book stuff. So about, the Marvel stuff. We'll have to talk about that next week when you're on. I am Snowflake.
Trailblazer's my favorite.
They could animate if they animated a cartoon with you two guys as Safe Space and Snowflake, that would be the parody we deserve.
And Trailblazer's the best because my magical backpack. What the frick?
But what happens when the zipper gets stuck? Because that happens on backpacks.
Yeah.
What happens when she runs out of breath in 10 seconds?
Yeah, right?
She has one of those little water things that the tubes that comes to her mouth,
Like a giant hamster water bottle.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, Pop Culture is actually a comic book writer. I did not know that, man, and artist. So,
Very cool.
Please, guys.
Let's toss them a sub. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Awesome. So if everybody else in the chat can toss Gaze and Pop Culture a sub, everybody on the panel, please do. Let's support one another and grow. And Script Doctor, where could they find you, and what do you have out right now or going to be putting out soon?
I have my episode 8 review of Picard out right now. I'll be working on episode 9 tonight and Sunday to try and get it out for Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that. You can find me streaming with all these wonderful people on the Fourth Wave and also with Tom Connors at Midnight's Edge After Dark and occasionally on Midnight's Edge. You can also catch me on Drew Taylor's channel with the Pegasus Actual Podcast, where we review old episodes of Battlestar Galactica, along with author Stephen Walton with the Sausage in a Hand there. Drew Taylor, Brian the Gravedigger,
You just hit me in the head with
Fun.
a frozen 5-pound freaking piece of meat.
That's basically like watching Picard, isn't it?
Nice save, Script.
And you can also finally follow me on Twitter at ScriptDoctorPhD.
Thank you for that. I'm sorry that Steven had to ruin it for you.
No, that was brilliant. I love that.
And next we'll speak to her, and he's been calling her nerdy. It's Nerd Cookies. Thank you. So if you're looking for nerdy wow. Excuse me. I don't know what he just did there, but that was painful.
That was harsh.
Yeah, that was harsh. See, I'm regular. Let them know what you're working on or what you just put out and where they can find you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a sci-fi and fantasy content channel. Do a lot of news and analysis. Lately, I'm doing a lot of Dune videos. I just put one out today about Duke Leto Atreides. And I had one a couple days ago about Lady Jessica, getting that out there and really enjoying it. I'm really excited for Dune to come out this year, so I'm trying to get everyone pumped for that. On Twitter, and just check me out. Nerd cookies.
Thank
for
you.
your consumption.
Yes, nerd cookies. Thank you to Palanuki for putting everybody's stuff in there. I really appreciate that. And the Queen, Lorena Creole. Where can they find you?
I am Lorena Creole, and you can find me on Twitter. I do not have a YouTube channel right now, but so many creators are gracious enough to invite me onto
Don't worry about it. We're all parents. We're all parents.
This is my life, right?
No, I'm with you. I am so with you. We're all parents.
And yeah, so I just support people in the community, in the Fandom Menace community. You can find me live streaming with the other queens every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central. We talk pop culture, Star Wars, Star Trek, but mostly the WTH news that's out there going on. So we just get together and have an amazing time. So please give me a follow on Twitter if you're so inclined. And if you have a YouTube channel, please let me know so I can check it out and subscribe.
Beautiful. And I know we are starting I don't know if it's this week or next Tuesday or the following Tuesday, but we are starting.
I was shooting for this Tuesday.
Jesus Christ, he's everywhere. He's on my microphone, he's on his own microphone. All right, we're probably shooting for this Tuesday with the three.
I'm under the desk.
The three of us.
This is where he keeps me.
Just shut your mouth and stay down there. I will.
The bed.
Stop. All right. You can find us on, I don't even now remember what the hell the show is going to be called, TR4 or something like that.
Yes, TR4. Oh, Jane came up with that.
Yeah, Jane came up with it. What does it mean?
The Rogue.
The Rogue 4. Yes, we got some.
Oh, cool.
Yes, we got the white patriarchy and our sisters on the show. It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot to me.
Future ex-wife's on the panel.
Oh, we're going to have to lock him up. No one needs to know where Steven's going to be, so don't worry about that.
That's the whole plot of this, eh? It's just for Steven to get 2 new extra ex-wives.
Yes. Yes.
You know I love chocolate.
All right. So for everybody, thank you for coming. Please subscribe to everybody on the panel. Please follow them on Twitter. Let's support Red Gaze and his journey of this awesome novel, Sunsworn. And thank you all for coming. That was our show. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if I did. Have a great one.